Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone, and peace of salutation on down to the hopeful elect that's pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, It's Tazier Gabar from Waco, Texas, and I'm getting into who the ancient Egyptians are according to the scriptures, which is the ancient Egyptians are the modern day Sudanese people that's in South Sudan and Sudan and Africa. So these people are Hamites from the tribe of Mizraim, the ancient Philistines, the ancient Egyptians, who are now calling themselves the Sudanese, and we know that by characteristics. You got Jakes that think that the tribe of Judah are Egyptians, the Negroes, who are the Israelites from the tribe of Judah, which is Yahweh in the Hebrew. Alright. But these people right here are not the same as us. And this is Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So although we look similar on the outside, but we're not spiritually the same. All right, and you see this man right here. He's a cool 7 foot tall. And this is the characteristics of these people going back in the ancient times. Get 1 Samuel 17:4. All right, this is 1 Samuel 17:3. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them. So this is Israel and the Philistines having a face-off when King David was finna get ready to fight. All right, and look at the stature of this man right here, this Hamite, all right, which is a heathen nation. These people were enemies of Israel, who will always go to war with them. All right, verse 4. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. So 6 cubits, that's a really tall man, given the fact that even back then, men were much taller because the earth was at its healthiest state. This devil wasn't ruling in power, polluting the earth. All right. So the modern day Sudanese are known for their great stature. The average grows to be about 6 foot and up. A lot of them be hitting 7 foot tall. Like this woman right here, she look like she's a cool 6'2". And these men right here are obviously 7 foot. Look at this woman right here. Look at the long arms. All right. So Goliath, he was a giant Philistine, and he was greatly about 6 cubits, probably 9 foot tall. All right, a man of great stature, and we know through the spirit these Philistines and Egyptians are descendants of Ham, which is a dark-skinned nation, not of Israel. All right. Khan. So Salakia. These Sudanese, they are. What the heck? Ham from the tribe of Mizraim. All right. Throughout time, they changed their names. They went from Mizraim. It's a lot. They was calling themselves Philistines at one point, back in Judges or whatever. Then they had a few more names. And they ended up calling themselves Egyptians. All right, so my phone was acting up on that. But like I was saying, these Hamites, the Sudanese, they are Ham from the tribe of Mizraim. That's their ancient biblical name. All right, so they went from calling themselves, Philistines, and then one point, they was calling themselves Egyptians. All right, so now the modern day name that they're calling themselves is Sudanese. and they're known for great stature. And when you read it in First Samuel, the historic battle between King David and Goliath. So King David was the underdog in that battle because the children of Israel was greatly afraid of these Philistines just by their appearance being this super tall. And you'll think King David was like he'll basically he looked like a child compared to Goliath, and you will obviously see him as an underdog facing Goliath. All right, this is some of the physical characteristics, how they look in the face. He got simple jakes that think just because the dark skin, woolly hair, the lips and all that, we're the same. But obviously we're not, according to the spirit. But like I was saying, when King David fought Goliath, he was the underdog in that fight. King Saul, the king that was before David, he was even afraid. All right, so this is First Chronicles 11:23. Just keeping it short, and that's some of the landmarks that's in Egypt that the children of Israel built, being under captivity under the Pharaoh, which is still up to this day. All right. This is First Chronicles 11:23. It says, "And he slew an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits high. And in the Egyptian's land was a spear like a weaver's beam. And he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear." So our people will constantly go to war against these Hamites, even back in the time of Genesis, with a good story, Donna, Simeon, and Levi, whenever a Hamite raped their sister, and then the Simeon and Levi teamed up together and slew all them. I believe it was a Havite. Yeah, the damn Hamites that did it. All right, so we always butt heads. We don't get along. We two different nations and two different spirits of people. So this is 2nd Esdras 5:50. "And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee, before your mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, Ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, Wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less stature?" Reading verse 52 again. "Say unto her, Wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less stature? And she shall answer thee, They that be born in the strength of the youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise." All right. "Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less stature than those that were before you." And that's the main verse. So men now are of less stature because the earth is not at its healthiest state that it was back then, producing. So now, men grow less tall. It's lucky. So like men are not as tall as they are now that they were back then, being under the captivity of this devil for one. he has greatly polluted the earth, you know. But these nations, this nation of Ham, this tribe, you know, Mizraim, they are freakishly tall and they're steady, you know. That's a natural characteristics. All right. That's what I want to get into. But I'm going to close out giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakvadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation on down to the hopeful elect. I'm going to say Shalom.